Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Digital Mittelstand. My name is Jan and I help small and medium businesses, so Mittelstand, to overcome their digital transformation challenges. Today's episode's title is Digital Transformation from an Academic Perspective. That's why I have Hubertus Schmidt with me as a guest today. Hubertus is an assistant professor, entrepreneur, managing director, managing partner in 2 companies, and of course, a digital transformation expert. Welcome, Hubertus. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, John. Thank you very much for having me. My name is Roberto Schmidt. I have 25 years experience working in the IT business with great companies like Siemens, Computer Center, Capgemini. And almost 2 years ago, I changed basically my profession and started to run my own business, which is basically the main focus is digital transformation. And I do digital transformation as a consulting in different industries. So secondly, I started some 1.5 years back as an assistant professor, which was quite important to me because I wanted to give back a little bit of my experience and bring some real life experience to the students. But on the other hand, also like getting to know about more kind of tools, methodologies, and so on. So to combine and connect these two areas. So that's basically where I'm coming from.
Thank you, Hubertus. But in which university you are doing your lectures?
That's the FOM. It's a private university for economy and management. It's the biggest private university in Germany. Wow. So, and I'm lecturing in topics like digitization of business processes, management of IT technologies, but also some topics like strategic business model development. So it's a full set of different topics, but all related to digitization.
Yeah, and building upon that, as you are an assistant professor and you are already lecturing in those topics, why an academic or a theoretical perspective is helpful to achieve success in digital transformation projects?
I think so my experience, at the end of the day, the real life is reflected in the theory. Yeah. So, and what you get out of this real life experience at the theory is a kind of a framework. And this kind of framework is going to help you to sometimes get to a different perspective, to bring you up to a kind of a balcony and see like different topics which are responsible in terms of what you have to do when it comes to a digital transformation. Yeah, you have to reflect and you have to think about data, you have to think about employees, you have to think about machines and robots, you have to think about suppliers, customers, and processes. So, and if you're just in your day-to-day work, it's not always quite easy and visible how these different things are working together. So, and in this setup, the theory and the kind of academic perspective helps you to clear up a little bit the view. In addition, in your day-to-day business, sometimes it's not really clear how to move, where to go. What is the structure? You're working on a vision, you need to have a vision, you need to have a strategy, you need to know about your kind of maturity levels, but how to calculate and how to set up all these kind of things. This is something which is in your day-to-day business very spontaneous sometimes. I mean, you have your project management tools and methods, but overall, to have the understanding how everything is linked together, this is something which is really supported by this kind of, let me call it, academic perspective. And this, at the end of the day, is going to help you how to define a USP or even a value proposition, to really think about it. Yeah. So and by doing this, you can really support people, bring this view into the companies, and get them to the situation that they really can benefit from these kind of methodologies by using it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a way, it helps us to see the problems or the challenges from a higher perspective, so that we can always relate to our big vision and apply to real world, as you said, by developing USPs or value propositions. So that's how that we can transfer the theoretical knowledge to execution.
True, true. But there's also one important step from my experience, which is not necessarily really seen or done in a day-to-day business, which is really the behavior of the people. I'm not yet talking about the people factor, but I'm talking about the people behavior. And you have to understand and you have to know that the change, and if it comes to digital transformation, let's say whether Mittelstand or big size companies, it doesn't matter so much. There's not so much difference in this context, but you have to understand that there is a change curve people are running through, and there are defined steps and situations which every employee is running through, and you simply cannot avoid it. You will not avoid it. It starts with a shock. It goes to a denial. It goes to comprehension. It goes to acceptance. It goes to trying and integration. And you cannot get rid of a single step here. So everyone is going, including me, including you, everyone is going through these kind of steps.
Yeah.
So, and to know this, I think it's very important to bring this kind of academic, theoretical view, but at the end, it's not an academic view because it was based and developed based on research, empirical research studies. So it's true. It's something you have to consider in your real life, and this makes it to me very, very much interesting. To understand how you can influence it. Because on the one hand, you cannot get rid of one step. The only thing what you can do is to squeeze it a little bit and to shorten the time the people are in a certain step. And if you have the method and the tools to, let's say, manipulate or to get the people on board, this is a big step forward for the transformation.
Yeah. I would say inspire. For example, if the company as a culture accepts the growth mindset, then you can reduce the time of denial in these steps, for example. So as you said, to squeeze it, which can be also accelerated by the culture. But you said something very interesting about people, and I wanted to ask you this, but I think it's the right time to ask about people and their role in digital transformation projects. I believe personally people are the most important factor in digital transformation projects. But what's the role of culture in digital transformation projects as a success factor?
So for me, that's a very simple answer, because from my perspective and experience, culture is the most important key success factor in a transformation. Studies say that more than 70% of transformations that are failing are due to cultural reasons, which is the behavior of the management, or it's the attitude of the employees, but not missing resources or even low budgets. And if you have understood this, you also will immediately realize the risk which is coming with this risk. Because if you fail in a transformation because of the culture, you have a risk of roughly 25% of production loss, and you have even more than 10% risk of fluctuation. So that's why if you don't get this kind of cultural topic into your strategy, or even before your strategy, you will run into a great risk to fail. And this again comes back to this kind of academic kind of view. Change curve you're running through, the types of employees you have in your company. So And this is again where this academic approach, a perspective is coming back into the game, because if you know what kind of people you have in your company, and there are many, many different people, different personalities. There are people like visionaries, active supporters or believers, but there are also opponents. And there are people who are going to leave because of a change that is going to come.
So the management needs to know the people, and without inclusion of people to strategy, 70% of the digital transformation projects will fail. That's what you said, right?
70%, right.
Wow.
70% of the transformation fail due to cultural reasons. And as a management, you should be in the position to understand the different personalities you have in your team, in your organization. So, and you have one team, but this team is a complete different setup of personalities. And you need to manage this. If you only support those guys which are strong, supporting the change, but forgetting the people who are not yet following, you will fail, because those people don't fit together. So, and this is the link from, let's say, the academic view, which helps you to influence the cultural setup.
But does that bring an advantage to Mittelstand, as they are relatively smaller in size?
I would say so, because especially in the Mittelstand, in contrary to big companies, as an SME, employees very often have, let's say, different kind of responsibilities. They need to do something in addition to their day-to-day operations. They don't have separated departments and organization where everybody is, let's say, dedicated to a certain role. In the Mittelstand, in the SMEs, the employees need to do a lot more, a lot different. So the more it is important to get these people basically on board to explain what is the change all about, and what is the need of the transformation at this point in time. Secondly, the know-how in the SME companies is not that much existing because of huge consulting support. They need to learn on their own. They need to stick to publications, or they need to stick to some personal contacts to move forward. Because maybe sometimes even the dedication is missing, or the budget is missing. Yeah, but they need to help themselves, and the management can strongly impact at this point to help those people to run through this change, accepting that there are many and a lot of different responsibilities in one head. Yeah, and just imagine you have like in an SME, you have a 50-year-old guy, could be me, yeah, maybe 25 years in a Mittelstand company, like in a controlling department, or in a logistic department, yeah, I don't know, something. And today, me as a CEO come to this guy and tell him, okay, tomorrow we are going to do blockchain. What do you think may happen?
Yeah, resistance.
Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe this guy is completely open for this change, but maybe not.
Yeah.
That's the question. So, but if you understand how this guy is from a personality point of view, you will, let's say, pull the right sticks and the right levers. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's an interesting case, because, as you said, it depends on the personality, not to the age or the years spent in the company. But I often talk to people from Mittelstand, and they are pretty much convinced in the benefits of digitalization, yet they don't do anything about it. Why do you think it's so?
I believe it's again a kind of a human attitude, because waiting to start is a human attitude. Yeah. So, and sometimes if you wait too long, or if you wait long enough, this kind of hype will disappear. Yeah.
So you don't need to
nothing
start.
happened. I can just continue as before. Yeah. So, and if you have like a lot of hypes which run in a similar way, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I don't need to move. I just keep waiting. Yeah. So that's one point. That's the personal or behavioral view. But on the other hand, I think there are real or some other facts, which is some kind of pressures Mittelstand or SMEs do have. There's one, the pressure of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, the German Mittelstand is usually, it's a Mittelstand in Germany is famous because of manufacturing, engineering, technologies. Yeah. So, and we have a lot of small companies, like even Global Leader. They have a lot of patents. They're well accepted around the globe, and they're very proud. So they don't see the pressure of the competition, because I'm absolutely in the best situation, because I'm a global leader. I have my patents, so I'm safe for the next years, or maybe even decades. Yeah, that's one point. The second point might be the customer pressure. Again, the German Mittelstand with manufacturing, engineering topics is not usually in direct contact with B2C. It's rather B2B business. So they don't get this kind of customer feedback directly. Mm-hmm. This end customer feedback. Yeah. So, and that's why they a little bit hesitate in running a change, because there is no feedback. And another point is obviously the technology pressure. Yeah. In manufacturing, if you're engineering a product, it's a physical product. And if you run a digitization, it's still a physical product. So that's why a lot of them are keen to say, it's not my business. It will not change my product. Yeah. So and these kind of pressures, if you don't, let's say, get into this feeling that instead of being safe, you should move, still will keep waiting. And in addition, sometimes, very often, is as an excuse, digital transformation is exhaustive. It's risky. We don't know what is going to happen afterwards. So, and as we are safe because of our product, because of our patents, our technologies, there's no need to really move. This is something where I believe German Mittelstand and SMEs are not really moving. However, what I feel is what they should do is understanding that even if you have a physical, engineered or manufactured product, you can still do a lot of digitization, which is like using sensors, which is like using data analytics, which is like using microservices, which is completely changing the perception even the customer, the B2B customer will get. So if they start working on this with maybe some small appetizers, yeah, I think this could help to start moving, because then they can see the change and the success of a running change.
Yeah. And digital transformation with the help of new technologies and new methodologies, like the agile methodology, where you iterate in small batches, which will help the Mittelstand to get the results in the quickest time possible, so that they see the change by themselves, and then they can scale things up. Just an addition to what you have said. But before we close, I would like to ask you, you already give a lot of suggestions, and thank you for that. But I would like to ask you, what's your top suggestion for Mittelstand owners, Mittelstand managers to apply right away?
For me, is three points. The first thing is have a clear vision and strategy, and don't fall in the trap of excuses. Second, start with small appetizers and gain, let's say, these kind of quick successes to get a feeling that the transformation is successful, is good to do. And last, and definitely not least, get your people on board, because culture eats strategy for breakfast. And this is a topic I strongly believe cannot be delegated. It's a must criteria for the top management to follow up on.
Exactly. And Hubertus, how people can reach you?
So they can easily find me through LinkedIn.
Okay.
Xing.
Okay.
So I'm always connected to LinkedIn, Xing, and easily to be addressed.
Okay, then I will put your LinkedIn profile and Xing profile on the description below. Hubertus, it was so nice talking to you, and thank you for valuable insights. Especially they are valuable coming from an academic perspective, but with a lot of hands-on work in the shop floor, so to say. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Jan. It was a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.